Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the February 10th, 2026 meeting of Henderson County Fiscal Court. We are glad you are with us, and for those watching online, we are glad you are with us as well. We're going to begin, as we always do, with an invocation, and I would like to ask a special favor of Reverend Johnson, if you wouldn't mind coming up and leading us in prayer. I know I'm springing this on you, but you're a pro, so I'm sure you're always prepared to say a prayer. Please stand.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Father, we thank you for this gracious day that you've blessed us with. The sun is shining, it's warming up. Thank you for all of the road workers and who have just labored these last few weeks in clearing roads and providing for our safety. Thank you for our educators. I know it's been challenging for them and the students these past few weeks, and as they try to get back to some normalcy. Bless our community. Bless our fiscal court, our city, our magistrates, our commissioners, and all of our city leaders. Bless this day as we conduct business. Pray that we do all and everything in order, decently and in order. Bless our nation as a whole. And we ask all these things in our Lord and Savior's name. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Reverend. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Magistrate Starks.
Here.
Magistrate Berry.
Here.
Magistrate Southard.
Here.
Magistrate Tompkins.
Yes, ma'am.
And Magistrate Putman.
Here.
Gentlemen, you have in your packet the minutes of the January 27th, 2026 fiscal court meeting after a period of review. I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other corrections, clarifications, or additions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we got a busy agenda, and it is Judges Scholar Day, and I'm absolutely pleased to welcome a family that I know well and their daughter, Ruth Lawson, who we are honoring as a Judges Scholar from Niagara Elementary School today. Ruth, if you would join me right here in front of me. We're going to read a proclamation in your honor.
Okay. Whereas Ruth Lawson has been chosen by Niagara Elementary School to be the recipient of the Judges Scholar Award for exceptional efforts in both academics and school activities, and whereas Ruth's hard work and dedication in making the most of educational experiences and developing positive relationships with teachers and other students will lead to future success, and whereas success is measured in many different ways, whether it be passing a test, scoring the winning point, achieving a particular goal, or taking the necessary steps for overall improvement. And whereas the Henderson County school system could not let Ruth's efforts go unnoticed, and whereas Henderson County Fiscal Court supports the school system and acknowledges these accomplishments as being significant because students such as Ruth will be our future leaders. And now, therefore, I, Brad Schneider, County Judge Executive of Henderson, join with the Henderson County Fiscal Court to proclaim February 10th, 2026 as Ruth Lawson Day. Oh, I know. One or two.
I know I got one. We got one.
Yeah. I think I got one.
Did you get one?
Congratulations, Ruth, and congratulations to the Lawson family. Niagara School has given you a special honor here. This is pretty neat. It's your day today, and Niagara's got a lot of great students in there. But Today is Ruth Lawson Day at Niagara Elementary School. So now you get to join us and see the kind of how government works from that side of the podium. So hang in there. Steve Gold will provide color commentary. And just fight the urge to cast votes. I know that you kind of want to raise your hand and say yes, but that's all right. Okay, we have another very special moment of proclamation. And I'd like to ask Miss Joanna Davis Shake to join me here in front of the podium as well. Turn this around. I'd like to have you. That's all right. Come on over here a second. So, this is a very bittersweet moment. For those of you who might not know Joanna, she has worked for more than 3 decades at the Greener Area Development District, most recently as its executive director. And there may not be a person in regional quasi-governmental agencies that has helped Henderson County more and in more different ways than you, Joanna. And you have so many fans in this room. And we could not let you go into retirement without honoring you in some way. And first off, we have some gifts.
Oh, gosh.
So,
You.
Joanna is going to join her daughter in Colorado
Yes.
to help her start a business. And what more could a mom want to do than help their kids that way and go see a beautiful part of the country? It gets cold there, so we have
Thank
a little
you.
gift that might help remind you of Henderson County and also keep you warm. And we also have another special gift that I want you to enjoy either during the ribbon cutting, maybe. You can
Yes.
send us pictures or whenever you
Oh,
choose
thank
with
you.
your daughter.
Yes, thank you so much.
So thank you for that. And now, the county doesn't have keys to the county, but many of you might not know we do have an award that we give as our highest honor to people who serve the community, and it's called the Tiller of the Red Banks. This is a real thing. We haven't given out very many, but I'd like to read something in your honor proclamation, and yeah, so hang in there.
Okay.
Whereas Joanna Davis Shake has announced her retirement from the Green River Area Development District after more than 3 decades of exemplary service to the people, organizations, and local governments of Northwest Kentucky. And whereas her positive impact on the region's communities, most recently as GRAD's economic development leader and then the district's executive director, leaves a legacy of progress and prosperity that will be felt by generations to come. And whereas her hard work helped land millions of dollars in grants and services that led to some of Henderson County's most historic infrastructure, job creation, and social service improvements. And whereas her personality, friendship, intelligence, diligence, empathy, enthusiasm, humor, style, and integrity make her an inspiring example for all who are fortunate enough to call her a friend. Now, therefore, as she takes all those qualities into the next chapter of her life, Joanna Davis Shake will forever be remembered as a champion for our county and someone for whom its citizens will always be grateful. And I, Brad Schneider, Henderson County Judge Executive, join the Henderson County Fiscal Court in honoring Joanna Davis Shake by declaring her as a Tiller of the Red Banks and encourage all our citizens to join me in thanking Joanna for all her contributions to our community. Now, let me tell you what a Tiller of the Red Banks Award is. Tiller of the Red Banks is for services to our community that evoke the determination, courage, and vision of the pioneering flatboat captains who helped settle the land they called Red Banks and that we know of as Henderson County. Tillers overcame obstacles and challenges to help those around them and used their ability to imagine opportunity and prosperity beyond the bend of the river to provide a path for success for others to follow. So there is your Tiller of the Red Banks and proclamation. And please join me in thanking Joanna Davis Shake.
Thank you, Joanna.
Oh, of course. I just
I have no words, Judge. Henderson County, the city of Henderson is incredibly special to me. All the projects, as I was driving over this morning, I was thinking about all the projects. Just there,
Too many to count.
Canoe Creek, Buzzy, oh my gosh, Columbia Sportswear. You know, I go back a long way, guys, and so it has just been an honor of a lifetime to serve Henderson, and I'm just incredibly grateful for this. So thank you so, so much. Thank you.
I know you're thinking, one more thing, I got to take the Colorado package. You want us to mail it over here? I'm not crying, you're crying. I'm not crying. Thank you, Joe, and I know you leave soon. We will miss you, but keep in touch. And I know a lot of people in this room will enjoy hearing stories about, your new adventure. So.
Thank you.
Okay, next is another one of your big fans, Missy Vanderpool, who is coming up to give us a briefing on Henderson Economic Development's capital campaign and how we can help.
Yeah, and before Joe walks out, I just want to say thank you, Joe. She has led with such integrity and grace, and many times behind the scenes, encouraging me in my role. Didn't know her when I started in this role, but she's become a dear friend, and I'm just so proud to call her friend, and thank you. So, sorry, and I'll try not to be emotional. The rest y'all know me, so I'm going to pass out a few things to you all so you can follow along. Good morning. You'll see your dad's picture in there.
Thank you.
I do. So I'm going to go through this, but I'll try to be respectful of everyone's time. And I know you all are very familiar with our organization, and I first should say thank you for all the support over the last 5 years, and before that as well. But we are here because it is time for us to go about our capital campaign. The way we are funded, I think most of you are aware, is through a 5-year strategic plan. And we're wrapping up the first 5 years of when I joined Henderson Economic Development. So one of the things I've talked about a lot during this campaign, Convergent has actually done, this is their 4th capital campaign that they've done for Henderson Economic Development. This is the first time that we have the same name and the same leadership. So I don't know if that means that I'm crazy for sticking around or what, or they're crazy for keeping me. But anyway, over the last 5 years, we've had lots of success. And I'm not going to go through this book page by page because I think you all are very familiar. Y'all have played a very big role in most of the things that we talk about in this book. But we've had, over the last 5 years, $710 million in capital investment, 884 new jobs, and 300 new homes through the Jago Home Development that we worked with on partnerships. So when we talk about all the great things in Henderson and those successes, a lot of that comes from our strategic location and a lot of great things that we have going as far as river, rail, interstate, and all the great things with our port. So with those great things, though, there are also some challenges. So you'll see laid out in front of you some of the challenges. These are not all the challenges that we'll be focused on over the next 5 years, but these are a few of those things that we'll be focused on. One of those is workforce. Hands down, workforce is one of the things we hear the most from our existing industries. And that's not unique to Henderson. That's not a Henderson thing. That's throughout the nation. So we'll continue to do a great focus on workforce. And Dr. Lawson is sitting here. Dr. Lawson is on our board, but we have a great partnership. I'm not just saying this because he's sitting here. We have a great partnership with our school system. We work closely with the CTE. I think we're there at least once a week, probably, if not more, or in a meeting with them. And it's really refreshing to have someone that listens and hears and takes what our employers are saying is the need for our future, and they work on making that happen. And we have the same thing at the community college with Dr. Warren. So that's amazing. And when we get the benefit of going out and visiting with our peer organizations. Every community does not have that. And so we're very fortunate here to have that. Another focus of ours will be site readiness. So you all know that we have 4-star industrial park, and we have great build-ready site out there with 100 acres and over 1 million square feet of build-ready. But there are other metrics that we need. That site out at 4-star is one of the top 5 sites submitted by the Cabinet for Economic Development for projects. But also the average site size that projects that the cabinet submits is 225 acres. So there is a need for a variety of sizes for our product initiative. And I always say that as you look at product and getting a site ready, you know, we're 5 years, if we find it today, we're 5 years from it being ready for development. So always keeping our eye on that. Housing will continue to be a focus of ours. It's unique, and the judge knows that 5 years ago when we did this feasibility study, housing kept coming up. That's unique for an economic development organization. Housing has not always been one of their initiatives. And so 5 years ago, I came from the housing world, so I was a little, is that just because that's what they know to talk to Missy about, so they're talking about housing? But no, Hendersonians were visionaries, and now when we go around, I would say 90% of economic development organizations are focusing on housing. So we'll continue to make that a focus. And one on here that is not gonna just be like shiny and all the great things is warehousing. But warehousing is a need for our existing industries, and you'll hear a little bit more when I talk about our priorities. You know, 70 to 80% of a community's growth comes from within, and if warehousing will help our existing industries expand and meet a need for them as they look at things like onshoring, we wanna understand that and have that available for them. So on the next pages, you'll see our strategic initiatives that we're going to focus on over the next 5 years. Many of you sat through something similar to this 5 years ago, but one thing we did, we are a lean, mean economic development machine in Henderson Economic Development. So not only for our stakeholders did we lay out our role, but for internal as well. We know that we cannot lead every initiative that's laid out here, so we identified what our role would be in those initiatives. And so you'll see, again, our number one focus is business retention and expansion. Again, local growth we know comes from within, and so we'll continue to work on with our existing industries and advocating for them. Close second, and I think goes hand in hand with our business retention and expansion, is workforce development. And we're fortunate, again, as I said, to have the partnerships that we have to work on those initiatives. Something that you will see in the workforce development that's new is a housing study. We believe that housing is directly tied to workforce, and really understanding what is the housing need. And, you know, we've coined a term, income aligned. Affordable is very subjective. And so what is affordable to me is different than what is affordable to my neighbor or someone else. So we want to make sure that we have housing that meets all income levels. And then third will be industry attraction and recruitment. Y'all are very familiar with that. We have to meet and talk about that quite often. But something new that I want to add in there is that does include, and has not in the past, commercial and retail recruitment and development. And so that's something new that we are focusing on as we've gone out and met with, at this point, we've probably met with about 50 different community leaders. Every single time something comes up regarding the need for additional hotel or lodging, and the need for some other amenities such as grocery store and things like that. So that is going to be a focus of ours over the next 5 years. You'll then see on the next page, I call this the Bill Fiddler page, because during the last campaign, he challenged me to dive into the budget a little more and saying that our budget didn't necessarily match our strategic plan. And that didn't leave me for 5 years, and he was exactly right. So this you will see, we've taken each initiative and shown what the budget will be annually and for the 5 years. And so our goal for the campaign is 2.8. At this point, we're a little over $1 million, and so we're on our way, making lots of asks and a lot in the pipeline for that. As reference, just for information, last time we had about 92 investors in our campaign. Obviously, the city and the county being our largest investors, but we did have 92 investors. And so the outcomes, With all that work, you saw in the very beginning how many jobs over the last 5 years that have been created. We are projecting that 1,000 new and retained jobs, and you all, of anyone, will understand the retained piece because we've had to have conversations about retention before, and so that's what we mean on retained, is if it's a project that we're actively working with a company to help them retain jobs. There will be about $800 million in new capital investment. A new thing that we've put on here is that 2,500 Henderson County students over the next 5 years will participate in at least one career and technical awareness program. And then we've got 200 new income-aligned housing units, that with the little note below it adjusted after the housing analysis, because we will be working on a housing analysis to really understand what our need is. And we're excited to already start those conversations with Bowen. I don't know if any of you are familiar. They've done the statewide housing study for the Kentucky Housing Corporation, and they're a great group. So what is the return on that? The compensation and wages will be nearly $100 million added into our community. The GDP, $210 million, and then the total economic impact is over $900 million, and it's really closer to $1 billion. So we didn't put that number in there because we didn't want anybody to go, oh, that's a lot. I don't know about any of these numbers. So on the last pages here, you'll see our board of directors. The judge does sit on our board of directors, and we have an amazing board, and thankful for all of their support. So what I'm here for today, I will pause first before I get to that part. Does anybody have any questions? I went
As
really
she mentioned,
fast.
both the judge executive and the mayor sit on the board as kind of permanent seats on the board, so.
Yeah, there are only 2 permanent seats. Everyone else has term limits, but they don't.
The return on investment page is always very interesting to me in the way the economic impact, the dollars that come in through our efforts, your efforts, roll over. And the current campaign that you're wrapping up has been really successful, obviously, with Pratt Industries and the Henderson County Mine and several other projects. Remind me of the 2 economic impact figures that you have for Pratt and just the mine, those 2 alone.
Yeah, and it's been a minute, and I can pull that up and give exact numbers, but Pratt's was over $300 million a year annually, and the mine was very close to that impact on our community. And it's really cool, and I've shared it with some of you all. We have a program where we can do those analysis and really see where the impact is being felt. And so you can say, I have an insurance agency. I can show you what the impact has been to insurance agencies, banking, restaurants and things like that. So it's a really cool way to show the impact that it has on our community.
As those dollars roll through 3, 4, 5, 6 times, payroll dollars, vendor contracts,
Yeah.
all those things, so. It's not just the day of the groundbreaking or the first shift. It goes on for years and years and years, impacting the whole community.
Yeah.
Any questions about this presentation? So obviously you're here to tell us how we can help. I will say that Missy made this same presentation in front of the City County Cooperative Group, which included the mayor that day, and representatives of City Commission and Fiscal Court were there. So if you want to continue, we can talk about that too.
Yeah, so the ask is for the county we do a 5-year commitment. The ask is for the county to do $100,000 a year. That is an increase over what's been before, but we'll be also making an ask this afternoon to the city. Theirs to the city directly will be $400,000, and you may ask what the difference is, but also their water utility and their gas and Henderson Municipal Power and Light also contribute to make up that difference. And so that is the ask over the next 5 years. You can see our program of work has expanded, and we've been, as I said, a lean, mean economic development machine, but we want to move forward and continue to do great things for the community.
So actually, the city counting their utilities kicking in will be more than 500,000 between them. We had a good discussion about this at City County Cooperative Group, and the city was enthusiastic about the added jobs you're taking on, the added goals and mission. And besides just amenities, those places will also hire a lot of people too. So that's good as well.
And as we're working, we're not going to slow down any on industrial recruitment. As you work on industrial recruitment, those are the kind of things they look for when they come into a community. I have so many stories from these interviews to hear about things that they would like to see in our community. So that it all plays together.
In anticipation of this request, spoke to the members of the Finance Committee about an option for us if we choose. Right now, our current budgeted line item for economic development is $50,000 a year. We decide that every year. I know they look for 5-year commitments, but because of how we have to go about it, we review that number every year, but we've kept it the same. And, we always concern ourselves with ongoing cost and whether we can handle an increase in an ongoing cost. But in looking at our current budget, we have in the Economic Development Fund a $275,000 contingency amount, which is not committed to anything. It's sitting there waiting potentially for something. But one way we could do this, if you wanted to, is to pay up front before the end of this fiscal year. Say $250,000 of our $500,000 commitment. That's $100,000 over 5 years, of course. And that would mean if we do that, then the ongoing budgets would still stay at $50,000 a year for economic development. So it really wouldn't change our budget line item. We would obviously renew that every year if we wanted to, but I don't see any reason not to. And this would get us to helping match what the city's agreed to do, and we'll probably agree to do tonight.
Yeah.
And also keep us from having an increased ongoing expense than what we have in our current budget. Does that make sense?
Sounds good, Judge.
And
Yeah.
the members of the Finance Committee, Tim and Butch, we reviewed this, and any thoughts about that?
I think it's a great plan. And I like the fact you're paying it up front, because we really can't commit to anything after our terms are over. So, to pay it up front that's the way to do it.
Pay half up front,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, half of it.
Well, it allows us to continue on with our budget. We know we've been making our budget numbers year after year after year. So if we do the one-time fee, we shouldn't have any trouble with maintaining the 50.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Sound good, Missy?
Sounds good. Yes.
Any other questions about that
Yeah.
plan or any thoughts at all? One of the reasons I asked about return on investment is the amount of money that flows through our community compared to the initial contribution, the budget of HED, it pales in comparison. One, just expansion of an existing industry can mean so many hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in economic impact. So for a relatively small investment in relation to the potential, it's a great ROI. And one of the things about Henderson County, I think that we are one of those cities with a population that puts us in the middle range of a lot of counties in the state. We always got to fight to get attention. We got to fight to try to at least get people to visit. And, one of our secret weapons has always been our collaboration and cooperation. And the good job Missy and her team do in hosting companies when they come in for site visits. And now's probably the worst time to back off any of that because we have momentum. There's a lot of good news, but we also have a 1 million square foot pad at 4-Star Industrial Park. There are a couple properties inside the city that would be perfect for smaller projects, and then we have this retail piece that promises more jobs and more options for local folks. So now's the time to press on the gas pedal, not hit the brake, in my opinion.
Missy, when I looked at 2,500 students participating in the awareness program, building trades, there's a shortage. And I would suggest that you would get in contact with one of the Labor Council here, and they do a presentation all over the state. And we've done it at County High. And again, those, I know there's 4 or 5 of those young men that went in to become
Yeah.
electricians, and now they're journeymans, and they're making $100,000 a year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just something, we need to keep our eye on the ball,
Yeah,
because building trades is, there's a big shortage in it.
Yeah, absolutely, and I love that, and we'll talk more about that offline, but we're always looking of ways to, that awareness, just awareness of
I
what
mean,
the
I
opportunities
like the
are.
whole idea of it. I mean, yeah.
And Missy, speaking of collaboration, did you want to just say a little bit about this partnership or working group that is coming together? I think the city of Madisonville and some others here in Western Kentucky are helping with this outreach to more commercial projects.
Yeah, we've been working in small efforts on retail recruitment for about a year and a half. And that kind of started with the property that was obtained for Jago specifically, and then we sold that the city sold that property to Jago and retained some acreage for the purpose of commercial and retail development, and it faces I-69. And so we started looking at how to do that, and when we have friends in Madisonville that were working on that, so we went down and met with them back in summer of 2024. And now we're working with them, and there's, I think, I'm looking back because Abby was on that call too, I think there's 11 counties in the state of Kentucky that are working together. There's a large conference called the International Conference of Shopping Centers, ICSC. There's a show in Vegas and a show in Atlanta. At the show in Vegas, there will be over 30,000 people there, and we're going to have one of the largest booths, and it'll be all Kentucky localities. And it really is on commercial recruitment. The rising tide will lift all ships. Many of these folks, kind of follow the interstate or follow in certain areas. So we're all going to be working together to help recruit some great commercial development in our areas. So thank you for that. And on collaboration, I say this all the time, and if you listen to the first podcast of Growth Spurts with the judge and I, you would have heard collaboration is a hot word that everybody uses, and we live and breathe it in Henderson every day between the city and county government, economic development, tourism, chamber. All of our organizations really do. And again, that's something I think we take for granted. It does not happen everywhere. So I'm thankful for that.
And I'll just add a couple things. One, the performance of previous efforts here indicates to me that this is a no-brainer to approve it. But secondly, she talks about collaboration. She says a lot of things, and I can tell you, the people who know me, I'm pretty straight about what I think. And I'm on the CTE board. This lady and her team, not some days, every day, go above and beyond for this community. And I can tell you, to his point, I personally know of 6 young men who, through construction, have gotten careers, not just jobs, through the labor unions and things like that. And both my son and my nephew are along the electrical path, and my son has gotten a job out at Pratt Paper. Not only is he an electrician, he's learning about electronics and different things, and the opportunities that these young people have. I mean, he's 21 years old, and they put him in charge of his own shift. You know what I mean? Out there with another mechanic. I mean, they're setting these people up, our future, our young people up to be the next, leaders, and they give them the tools to do that, and it starts here.
One of my favorite full circle moments is walking through Pratt, and y'all see, the day doesn't go by, but when I have young men and ladies, because they'd have one female industrial maintenance technician that I'm very proud of that's going through the FAME program right now, but when they come up and hug me and say thank you, and it's not me, it's all of us. You all, everybody had a part in that, so that's a great moment. So
Any other questions? Any other thoughts? I think I'd like to have a vote to move forward with the plan outlined, and then we can work with economic development about the proper time for payment, but it would be before the end of the fiscal year, before the end of June, so.
I'll make a motion to move forward as described.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
thank you
Thank
all
you,
very
Missy.
much.
Thank you, Missy.
Missy.
Next, we have Brian Bishop from the Planning Commission, who has a request of fiscal court regarding their reserve.
Sorry, folks, mine is not near as exciting as Missy's, so, but that also being said, it's also less expensive. So the Plan Commission requests that we take our 2 previous fiscal year surpluses and transfer that to our reserve account. That total would be $112,896. We are requesting that to accomplish 3 things. We would like to have a 3-month operating expense. We would like to cover compensated absences, which is essentially folks like me that are getting long in the tooth that have retirement dates in the foreground. It would help us cover things that we're obligated for, like unused vacation days, unused sick days. And the third item is to account for any potential litigation that may be coming the Plan Commission's way. So with that, I humbly request that we transfer this with our existing $125,000 to give us roughly 3 months operating budget and to put the Plan Commission in a better financial spot. And we like this request because we feel like we're not asking for more money from the city and county because it's money that's already been budgeted. So we have an opportunity to use an outlier to help the Plan Commission long-term financially.
Some history here. When I first became judge, it was typical for the Planning Commission to turn back to fiscal court any excess they had over the course of the year, but in time, we began to let the Planning Commission and Brian keep some of that for some of these circumstances he just lined out. And so, because the need to scratch back revenue from the Planning Commission became less important as we improved our own financial position, they've been able to keep a reserve and keep from having to come back and ask us for money in case something happened that required it. So I have absolutely no problem with this. I think there was a quick question in City County Cooperative Group from Dawn Kelsey about the ability to do this based on the interlocal agreement, but I've heard nothing from her that said that in the end that was the case. So just wanted you to know that I'm fine with it. And
Well, it's nice
helps
to know too, Brian, you know, the reserve, I don't guess there's a problem with having a reserve, because obviously you've had some smaller ones. So,
And
So-
along those lines, our auditors never said anything about it, and they help us set up the account that we transfer to. So our belief is that it's fine from what research we've done and in conjunction with our auditor.
And that was raised at the city-county meeting. Ms. Kelsey and I, the city attorney, looked at the interlocal agreement, and there wasn't anything that would make that an issue. It did give them the authority to have their own accounts and things like that. Some interlocals, that can be a problem. With theirs, it did not look like it was.
well, it sounds good to me, Brian. I mean, you got it all stepped out is what you're going to do looking forward, you know.
Well,
So-
we hope it's not needed, some of
Well-
it, but it's better to have it in reserve than not have it.
I agree.
So, and one thing too, this is not going to be anything new that we ask fiscal court for. This is already from the previous 2 fiscal years.
it may be something to think about in the future, Brian, about setting maybe some sort of cap. Because you've done a good job managing the money. There tends to be an excess every year. It's building up. For both the city and county, I don't even know what that number could be, but it may be good to figure something out.
It's something we've already discussed internally, so I agree.
Any
Want
other
a
questions?
motion, Judge?
I think we need a motion, yes.
So move.
You have a motion and a second. Any other questions of Brian? Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Next, Eric Higgs, who recently got his annual Kentucky Pride Grant, yes?
No, we are applying.
Applying for it.
What I'm applying for this year, of course, y'all know the Kentucky Pride Grant's the big recycling grant we get from the state, and we've been fortunate enough to get it the last several years. What I'm requesting to apply for this year is 10 more of the Pro Tilt trailers, 15-yard. I have a lot of businesses that are currently on a waiting list, and by going after these trailers, that would enable us to expand our operations even more. What this does is that actually saves, because right now a lot of these businesses are having to pay quite a bit of money for these other places to get it. Well, if we can provide them, ours is a free service, so if we can provide them with a trailer, it's going to save them money, it will increase our revenue, and it's a win-win for everybody. The total grant amount that we are requesting is $163,650. That's for 10 trailers. Now, this grant has a 25% match. The good thing is our labor, myself and my crew's labor, our normal day-to-day operations, it covers that. So it's not going to cost us anything extra.
Outstanding. And these aren't the gray boxes for cardboard, are they? This is something different.
They're hydraulic trailers that we don't have to manually empty. We push a button, and it's
They
also
dump
going to be
themselves.
safer for us to unload them as well, so.
Right. If you're looking for a vote to go ahead and apply for it,
I
I think I can get one. Okay. I'll get a motion to approve me putting my signature on
So
that grant
moved.
application.
So
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll get my signature.
Thanks, Eric.
Who seconded that? You did. Okay.
Next, you have a list of items that we're wanting to declare surplus that were part of the previous sound system in this room. We replaced it. It was beginning to show its age, and we needed to upgrade, and we've done that. And Brent Jacobs, Brent did a good job of managing that program, and we are now on the new system, and I hope it sounds good and looks good. But we want to declare the former speakers and other equipment surplus so we can put it online for auction. And if you don't mind, I would have the clerk read a summary of this.
Yes,
That's all we're doing is
please.
putting that stuff up for auction, so go ahead if you don't mind. Please.
A resolution declaring certain county property to be surplus and providing for the disposition thereof.
You see the list in front of you. Any questions about that?
Pretty straightforward.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Now we have a second reading of the two ordinances that we read for the first time last meeting. They are the insurance premium tax reduction as well as the small farm winery farm stay updated ordinance. I would ask the court's forbearance if they want to just have the clerk read a summary of those two, if you'd like.
Please.
They're
Be
pretty
wonderful.
simple. We're reducing the insurance premium tax from 9.75% to 4.875%. And we are creating small farm winery farm stay as a conditional use within the agricultural zones of our current ordinance. So
These do have to be separate votes.
Yes.
yeah. So first, we'll read the summary of the insurance premium tax.
Ordinance to amend Article 1 of subsection 137 of the Henderson County Code of Ordinances regarding insurance company license fee or tax to reduce the license fee or tax from 9.75% to 4.875%.
You get a motion?
So moved.
A motion and a second, couple comments. Again, thank you to Master Southard, Master Tompkins especially for pushing this and for several years now. And it's good to be in a position to do it. I think it's, from all accounts, it's the largest tax cut that we can think of in recent county history. So I'm glad we got to that point, and I'm glad we have enough financial strength to do it. So we have a motion and a second. We will call the roll.
All right. Magistrate Starks?
Aye.
Magistrate Barry?
Aye.
Magistrate Southard?
Aye.
Magistrate Tompkins?
Aye.
And Magistrate Putman.
Proudly vote aye.
And I'll vote aye for the record. Next, we have the small farm winery farm stay.
Okay. We reading the whole thing?
No, we're reading.
Okay.
this.
Summary, please.
Thank you. Ordinance amending the Henderson County zoning ordinance found in the Henderson County Code of Ordinances and Appendix A thereof to include small farm winery farm stay as a conditional use within agricultural zones of said ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? We'll read the call the roll.
Okay. Magistrate Starks?
Aye.
Magistrate Barry?
Aye.
Magistrate Southard?
Aye.
Magistrate Tompkins?
Aye.
Magistrate Putman.
Aye.
And I'll vote aye for the record. Next, we have second reading of something we had a first reading on and then had to postpone second reading to nail down some details. And I'd like to ask Deputy Judge Kurt Wiesen to come forward and explain a little bit about the delay and see if we can get agreement on second reading.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
We had a first reading of this back in November, and after going through, double checking we have an outside attorney working on this that specializes in telecommunications agreements, and she wanted to get the view of some others. She is the one who presented the ordinance to us. It was written by them. Mr. Gold and his team reviewed it also, and she wanted to take, after we had first reading, she wanted to just go in a little deeper and make sure that the I's were dotted, the T's were crossed, and she didn't find anything else with it. So she went ahead and asked us to go ahead and go through the second reading now. So there's no changes made between the first and second reading. It was just a delay to make sure we were doing it right.
Mr. Gold, anything to add?
Just say, as you all may recall, the attorney that has been helping Henderson County on this is the same one that works with the city and pretty much every other city and county in the state that does these. Her name is Linda Ains. She's out of Lexington and is kind of the expert in the state, the guru in all these telecommunications things. They get really detailed. You get into all these wild federal laws, and she's gotten down deep in that morass. So Mr. Wiesen said that my staff and I had reviewed it. We have, but we'll also be the first to tell you that she's the expert in this area, so we defer to her because she knows those kind of strange federal communications laws.
So what you have in front of us is the entirety of the ordinance, all 14 pages, but we've already had one reading, and if you would prefer, we can just read the summary of that one as well.
Please, summary.
Thank you. An ordinance creating a franchise for the operation and maintenance of a cable system in Henderson County, Kentucky, setting forth conditions accompanying the grant of franchise and providing for the regulation and use of said system.
Get a motion?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Hold on. First.
Motion. Second.
Okay.
Motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion about this? Please call the roll.
Will do. Magistrate Starks.
Aye.
Magistrate Barry.
Aye.
Magistrate Southard.
Aye.
Magistrate Tompkins.
Aye.
And Magistrate Putman.
Aye.
Now, with this ordinance in place, we can go out for bid for cable franchises. And Mr. Wiesen, I'll let you talk about that a little bit too.
There again, we deferred to Ms. Ains' experience on this, and because we now have a cable ordinance in place that we need to go out for bids on it to fulfill it. As far as we know, Charter Communications will probably be the only one providing a bid. But this was, like I said, through her. She's the one that set up the bid package and everything else, and going by her guidance on this. So we will plan on approval to go ahead and advertise this today. We'd advertise it today, and then we ask for bids to be closed on March 10th. We'll give it a month.
The other thing to explain, it's not like cable is new to Henderson County, of course. There's been some version of this many times over the years. That every time federal law changes or the time period expires, this is all renewed. So it's not like this is a brand new thing.
No.
Obviously, cable's been around for decades, but that's the process that has been set up is these franchises and then having to put them out for bids pursuant to the ordinance and then getting those in.
Yeah, this was our last one. Actually expired in 2017, and because of the changes, the FCC changed and everything else, we sort of let it go by the wayside because at that time we didn't think we needed to renew it or do anything with it. Then we found out because of FCC changes, Ms. Ain reaching out that legally that we are required to put this ordinance back in place. So that's why this whole ball started rolling again.
Charter reached out too.
Charter reached out
They were the
too.
ones that said, hey, we
Yeah.
need to make sure that we've got this in place. So.
Yeah,
So we need a vote to take it to bid.
to bid, yes, sir.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Next, County Engineer Nick Stallings is going to be opening up some bids for road department fuel supplies.
All right, these are the fuel bids for this calendar year. First one I have is from Valor Oil. And these fuel bids go on their markup, or their bidder margin, basically. Everything else is the same. The whole price, the excise tax, the federal tax, everything, that's all the same with everybody. So what their bid on is the margin, which is what the company, the hauling company makes per gallon of diesel off-road or on-road and gasoline. So Valor has 0.0295 cents. They submitted two. Yep, both of them. 10295.
That diesel,
That's everybody. When we run trucks, we'll usually split it between on-road, off-road, or gasoline. So it depends on what's needed. That's just per gallon when they show up.
gotcha.
Was that the common bid for all three types?
Yes. What they do is they show up with 7,000 gallons in their truck. It may all be diesel, maybe on-road, maybe off-road, gasoline, whatever it is per gallon that's their
bid.
markup. All right, this is from Petroleum Traders. A bunch of crickets in here somewhere. I hear those. Hear those crickets? Supposed to happen after I ask a question. All right, so this is the first. All right, their bidder margin is 0.0511. 0.0511. And from the deep south. All right, this is from Colonial Group, Savannah, Georgia.
Did you just pull a kitchen knife out of a drawer to bring to open these?
Oh, this is Kurt Weason's. No, it's sharp on both sides. It ain't a butter knife. It'll get. I forgot my knife today. Sad day on a bid opening day. My time for my knife to shine. I forgot one and had to call out from the minor leagues to get one here. Got to go for left-handed pitch for the minor leagues. All right, so they are at 0.0505. Is theirs Colonial? All right, we got Key Oil.
You say key?
Key Oil. Key.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we get bidder margin is 0.0995. You keeping track? Know all these numbers? All right, so we gotta.
There'll be a test.
I'm gonna have to defer to you for these numbers. Which one's the lowest? All right, this one's from Home Oil. They are 0.029. And the last one is from Grisham Petroleum from Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's a haul, ain't it? All right. So their bid is .0490. That's what we got. So I'm gonna go back and check, make sure the lowest bid, has the proper credentials to get this. Our fuel bids will go to the end of this month anyway, so I'll go back.
Okay. You also want to have us approve a hire?
Yes, we have a new truck driver, Nicole Jones. Her starting salary is $22.31. She's a CDL driver, so she's got a lot of experience in driving. As y'all know, we've had a couple retirements. One that was kind of unexpected, then we had another retirement. We got 2 more that are happening in the next couple of months. So we're trying to jockeying for positions to get people, moved up that want to go to equipment. And, we got to kind of move people around for truck driving. So, make sure we keep our workforce where it needs to be rather than waiting until they retire and then having to pick up, the slack after they retire and lose all the, a lot of people that are retiring has got a lot of experience in this, got a lot of years of, of knowing what to do, how to do it, what the common problems with things. So you let that walk out the door, you lose that as an employer. So I've got to step in a budget where they can kind of mimic what they're doing to kind of take care of like the greater situations. One of our guys retires a grader, and then as our grade all, so those backhoes. So that's what we're trying to get, 2 people running in.
So we need a motion to approve the hire of Nicole Jones at $22.31 an hour.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And before you sit down, with Dr. Lawson sitting right here, special thanks to all the guys on your team for working with the school system when we were trying to figure out how to open, what the weather was going to do after a week.
Yeah.
And I think hopefully we helped and speed up getting kids back to class. And I know your guys are up for anything, so thank you.
Yeah, good team, good crew, so worked out well.
Deal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Sheila Patterson with the coroner's report, please.
Morning.
Well, we started this year off with a bang. Unfortunately, we had 18 cases already for January this year, which is double what we had last year. And we've had 1 homicide of that group. The rest were all natural deaths. And the amount of cremations that we have within our cases that we've worked has gone from like 4 of the 9 we had last year to 12 of the 18 for this month. And then we've had 15 that we've signed for over and above the cases we've worked, so.
Sheila, are you going to have enough money? I guess I'm asking.
Well, some days I wonder because our workload keeps increasing, and unfortunately we have those that are indigent and don't have money to pay for a burial or cremation, either one. So the judge and I have a conversation on a regular basis about those.
That's what I was referring to, was
Yeah.
indigent. Yeah.
Right, and those happen more often, seems to be, so.
It's
That's hard to
considering that,
predict.
can you remind me how much is left in your line item right now? How much of a budget do you have for indigent burials? Can you remember off the top of your head?
We had $1,000 in there and we spent 14, so we were already in the red.
Okay. I'd like to entertain a motion to move $4,000 from contingency over to her indigent burial line item.
So
I think we
moved.
need to take care of that now.
Yeah.
Second.
So moved.
We have a
I do
motion and a
appreciate it.
second. Any other thoughts about that? I want to get ahead of this a little bit. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, it's too, Stressful.
Hopefully that'll be enough to get us through June,
I did.
because I have one that I'm trying to
Tim.
see if I can get some assistance from the state, because I think it was going to qualify maybe for a weather-related death. So I've asked that question, so I've not got an answer yet.
We can do it again if we need
Okay,
to. But Did
okay.
you have a question?
No, it's just, when you see those numbers go red, it adds a lot of stress that she don't need. She's got
Right.
enough going on.
Yeah.
So,
Obviously not her fault.
right, I mean, it's hard to predict
It's
what's gonna happen.
just an unfortunate situation, you know.
Yes, sir, it is. Any other questions?
Well, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We'll make that change for
I
you.
appreciate it very much.
Thank you,
That'll
Court
help us
Patterson.
greatly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Next, Jailer Bruce Todd with an update on the jail construction. We're going to be taking out to bid the job of construction manager, correct?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Court. Good
morning,
Yes, as some of you know, I think Butch and the judge, and I think maybe Bill Stevens was on the Zoom meeting we had as we presented our application to the DOC and Construction Infrastructure Committee. They were quickly agreed that and approved it. So we're going to request now that we go out and get a bid for a construction manager.
And you remember Mr. Skinner describing to us, along with Bruce Todd, what that person's job will be. It's a big project, and having somebody oversee, a single person oversee it, work with subcontractors and vendors to make sure it stays on track is very typical. I think the school system has done this.
Yes, and I
more than
would like to
once.
thank the school system. We went out for some sample construction RFPs, and I'd like to thank Ginger Carter and Chad Thompson for their quick response and sending us a request for RFP. So
We're going to model our spec on
yeah,
theirs.
we'll use a lot of their verbiage. I read it, and it looked good, and what we'll use.
So we need a motion to go to bid.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, the ViPath service agreement.
Yeah, we have a amendment to our current agreement, ValPath, I guess the LCC ruling. They've been working on it, I think, for a year, and they finally came out that we were not allowed, they were not allowed to get commission off some of the tablets and phones. So we got a new agreement, and they helped us out a lot. They increased our commission a little, and our to 19 cents. I mean, they did our so. I mean, there's not much we can do. FCC ruling, we can't negotiate anything on it. So I'll be like, I mean, we sign that agreement. It's going to cost us probably $400,000.
Yeah, we can no longer, that
Is
channel
that-
of revenue will no longer be available to us.
If I may, there were changes at the federal level. This was
Right.
a push federally with regard to the way these communications companies were dealing with corrections facilities. And there was a new federal law passed that meant that things had to be tweaked because certain things were no longer allowed to be charged for under the new federal rules. So it's not just a local thing. This is affecting virtually every detention facility in the nation, and that's why there had to be amendments to this contract. So some of the negotiation points, like the jailer was saying, some of the negotiation points that used to be there is, how much commission on this or that service, some of those went away completely, and some were capped by the federal rule as well.
Any other thing about the agreement itself?
I've
Commissioner?
reviewed the agreement, and it's approved as to form and legality.
Thank you, Steve.
We need a motion to approve this.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Any other additional comments?
Did
Mr.
you
Gold,
say
Mr. Todd?
it's going to cost us $400,000?
Well, we received like $400,000 off of phones, and that, the good thing is, it starts at the beginning of April, and we are at about 87% of our commission this year, so this year, we're not going to be too bad on us, but next year, we'll have to look at different.
Figure it out.
revenue. We'll figure it out. We'll be fine.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Jailer Todd?
All right, anything else?
You have your reports? Anything you
Yeah.
want to mention
Right.
about your reports?
We're still doing well. We're down a little bit on state's down, and we're down a little bit on just 3 or 4, 15 maybe on federal. We're still holding on. We purchased radios off 70. We purchased 60 radios, a new base unit. We had to get a new licensing because these radios are more advanced. The radios we had were outdated. We've had them for like 12 years. The cost of repairing them was going up. You couldn't get parts for a lot of them. We used a grant. We got a grant for it from Valpath. We had a $99,000 grant. We used, these radios were $70,000. So
Good job.
we got a grant, so that helped us out. Other than that, we're good. We're good.
We just came back from our Kentucky County Judge Executives Association Winter Conference, and some of the magistrates were able to join us. And, you know, one of the focuses is House Bill 557.
Right.
And to reiterate what that one is all about is trying to fix a problem that county jails have with holding on to people who have been accused of crimes, violating state laws, and waiting for their day in court. And sometimes while they do that, they stay in county jails, and it takes a while to go through that process. And while they're with us, before they get either convicted or acquitted, they're on our dime. And in the past, the state has not volunteered to reimburse the state for that
That's correct.
amount of time. And a couple legislators who have some experience at the local level understand how burdensome that can be, and are advancing a bill that would allow counties to be reimbursed for the time somebody sat in our county jails waiting for their court dates. And
Judge, can I clarify that just a little bit?
Yes,
It's
please
not
do.
necessarily waiting for a court day. In the circuit court with felonies, there is just someone will plead, and then they have a separate sentencing date. So they're not waiting necessarily. Some of them are waiting for trials or something like that, but most they've already pled. A whole lot of them have, and they're waiting on that final sentencing. And sometimes that final sentencing is set off for certain reasons to determine if they're eligible for deferrals, diversions, things like that. So that sentencing may be set off for a few months. They may even be released, but if they're sanctioned for a violation of release, they go back in for that violation. They're still on the county's dime, all of those things. So the case technically stays open because the state currently doesn't start paying for them until they become final sentenced in the circuit court. So the case may be virtually over for a lot of things, but they're either waiting or there's been some sort of deferred sentencing or something like that. That really the county, the local courts have done everything they can do. They're just waiting, and so the state is bearing that benefit and essentially having counties subsidize that time for cases that should be their responsibility because they're state level felonies. So that bill is trying to kind of have the state not do that subsidy like they have and push that cost down on county jails because you're seeing circuit courts all across the state use that more with more of a delayed time for a myriad of different reasons between when somebody actually pleads and when they get finally sentenced.
That'd be a
And
big
it's
help
that
to all jails.
time period.
Yeah. So y'all contact your legislators and ask them to support that bill. All right,
Amen.
thank you.
Will do.
thank you.
Yes.
Yep. Thanks, Jailer Todd.
And thanks for the clarifications.
Huge impact on county governments.
You have in your packet the sheriff's monthly reports. These are the normal monthly reports. Sheriff Stoffer, anything to add? No, sir. Okay.
Move to accept. Second.
We have a motion and a second. I will pay a compliment to the sheriff's staff. They're coming towards the end of their busiest time of year up at the windows there, so I think everything's gone smoothly, as I can tell. Things are progressing as budgeted, so that's good news too. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr.
Hey,
Gold,
Judge,
your report.
Do we need to accept the jailer's report? We don't?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Judge, I've got actually two things today. First is several checks. Jail fees, $82.50, interest, $249.50, and $83.19, and a reimbursement from the state, $5,474.70, bringing today's total to $5,889.95, and the fiscal year total to date, $169,727.48, and Ruth said she's never held almost $6,000, so if you could hand that to the judge. Good job. Well done, well done. And then after we vote on that, I do have another item of business, Your Honor.
Move to accept.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Floor is yours.
All right, as you all may recall, I think it was maybe toward the end of 2025, I had advised the court that I'd identified that there was an attorney that I was familiar with that was an expert in and used by CAECO and other counties with regard to renewable energy issues, and he has like I said, been used by CAECO and has really gotten his hands dirty in this area. He is actually a retired county attorney who's the Todd County Attorney. He's now an attorney with English, Lucas, Priest, and Owsley, and they're one of the larger regional firms in western and central Kentucky. And I've reached out to him. His name is Harold Mack Johns. Reached out to Mac about this issue just to kind of pick his brain. And the more we discussed with him, the more I believe that it makes sense to go ahead and get him engaged on behalf of Henderson County as we move forward through all of these processes, rather than wait until at some point where some sort of litigation is filed one way or another. I think it's helpful to go ahead and get him involved and helping us hopefully deal with everything proactively rather than retroactively. He has provided an engagement letter. I've reviewed that engagement letter. It's a relatively standard engagement letter for attorneys, laying out the duties and obligations both of the law firm and with us as clients. The hourly rate in there is $325 per hour, which as soon as I read that made me want to go back into private practice. But he does, that is for large firms, that actually is relatively low compared to what we've seen out of some of the Louisville and Lexington firms in these types of things. So it would be my recommendation, given the fact that there is a need for this sort of expertise to help the county, that we go ahead and approve this letter of engagement and authorize signature of that to get him helping the county on this.
Any questions? Any discussion?
So, real quick, I just want to make sure. So there's no conflict of interest that we can determine at this time that would come up for this, just because I know that's something that I've seen in other cases that has been brought up.
No, and he has, on their side, they've also done a conflict of interest search as well on behalf of their firm.
So I need a motion to enter into agreement with English, Lucas, Priest, and Owsley.
Second.
We have motions and seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Treasurer Ryder.
The transfers are as presented, and these are redistributing appropriations within the existing budget. The first one is approving the transfer of $1,500,000, which you approved for the second installment to the Henderson County Water at the January 27, 2026 meeting. This was included in the budget, but this is allowing me to transfer it from the contingency to the appropriate appropriation line. The last two are carrying individual departments through the end of the fiscal year. It's redistributing the existing budgeted appropriations.
Any other questions about those transfers?
Move to accept transfers.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I do need to include that a check will be written to the County Water Department today.
Okay.
I do have claims from the general fund to Magistrate Putman, Magistrate Southard, Magistrate Starks, Clerk Renisa Abner, and Sheriff Stauffer, $5,445.28 each. This is for the 2026 training incentive and is to be paid with the February 12, 2026 payroll. This is the magistrates is to come from the magistrates training incentive appropriation line. The clerk is to come from the clerk's training incentive appropriation line, and the sheriff is to come from the sheriff training appropriation line. To Brent Jacobs, $636.40. This is for reimbursement of IT expenses and is to come from the IT services appropriation line. To Magistrate Starks, $1,173.86. This is for conference meeting training reimbursements, and this is for two different events. To Magistrate Southard and Magistrate Tompkins, $623.08 each, and this is for reimbursement and conference training expense. All three of these are to come from the Fiscal Court conference meeting appropriation line. From the jail fund to Advanced Document Solutions, $853.52. This is for copier agreement and is to come from the data processing equipment appropriation line. To U.S. Bank, which is the credit card, $972.29, and the majority of this is to come from the office supplies and training travel expenses appropriation lines.
Any questions? Go ahead.
Move to pay the claims.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you, Brenda. Okay, reached the end of the agenda. If anybody would like to say anything for good of the county, Eric? Please introduce yourself.
My name is Lisa Thompson-Meyer. My address is 13341 Highway 136 East in Henderson, Kentucky. First of all, a question that I have is, this all just came up in the last 24 hours. Someone said that the contract for the solar panels, there's a clause in there that they can actually change if anything happens or whatever. They could actually change to the wind turbines. Steve, have you seen any of those contracts or?
No, you're talking about contracts between the landowner and the company.
Right.
No, we wouldn't see those.
Okay.
Now, of course, it would still have to be something that would be allowed under zoning. Just because the contract
Right.
says it doesn't
Right.
mean that they can necessarily.
But they couldn't just automatically with us having the moratoriums in place. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Regardless of what their contract says, it still has to be something that is a legal thing to do.
Okay. Okay, I want to make sure of that. And then a question I have about the fatalities that have been occurring over robberies at the railroad crossing. Of course, there are a lot of things that we can do as a county to try to help with that. It's hard to even figure out why they're happening when you can see in both directions for many miles. But putting up arms, putting lights up, has any discussion occurred with Fiscal Court to try to do something to stop this, improve this, help this, whatever?
We've had discussion with county engineer Stallings about whether it's even possible for us. CSX has control over those crossings. Putting up lights and arms would have to be under their purview. They're also very expensive, more expensive than you can imagine. I think the quote.
I know I bought some before.
The quote, Nick, if I have this correctly, it's like $500,000 for a single crossing. I'm not sure why it costs that much money, but we have had those discussions.
But what is a life worth,
I get it, but again, so much of it is up to CSX, and whether the $500,000 for every rural crossing that is.
I don't think we need one at every rural crossing, but there's something going on with that crossing. There's been, 4 or 5 fatalities in a very short period of time?
I don't think no, not at that particular crossing. I think there was one at Cherry Hill, one that just happened this recently. There was the person who walked on the tracks down near Happy Acres, and if there was another one, I can't recall. But those are the 3 that I can remember recently.
Didn't they have the people that were working on the solar panels, the father and son?
Right, that was at Cherry Hill.
That was a Cherry Hill.
But I just think that's something that the fiscal court should look at very seriously. It used to be it was an exception and a rarity, and now it seems like it happens a lot. And I just think we have an obligation to the residents of Henderson County to try to do something to help that. Thank you.
Mr. Higgs.
Just want to announce some things that the 3 spring cleanups coming up have been set, dates have been set. The first one will be in Basket on April 10th and April the 11th. Second one, it'll be in Carden, April 24th and 25th. The third one will be in Roberts on May 8th and May 9th. Something we're doing differently this year with the cleanups is on the first day of the events. We're also going to have a recycling trailer out there as well. That way people that can't get to the recycling center can drop their stuff off at the cleanups. After listening to a lot of feedback from citizens in both the city and the county who cannot make it during our normal hours, starting in March and every second Saturday from March till October, we're going to open up the recycling drive-through from 8 a.m. to 12. That way it gives people that can't get down there Monday through Friday a chance to bring their stuff in. And then we are going to do the Spring Ohio River Sweep where we clean up the Henderson Riverfront. That will be April the 18th from 9 a.m. to 12 on Ben Mill Park.
Great deal. And you're going to post those on your Facebook page, and we'll try to share
They'll
them.
be posted on the Henderson County Solid Waste and Recycling page.
Right.
Thanks, Eric. Great job, man.
Spread that word, yeah. Anybody else for good of the county? Okay, hearing none, we'll go around the horn. I'll start with Magistrate Starks this time.
Thank you, Judge, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and I want to say a big congratulations to this lovely young lady just off to my left here, and Ruth. Congratulations. You have a beautiful smile, by the way, and it is your special day, so take full advantage of it, and I'm not sure where you're going to go eat, but be sure you get 2 desserts, and life is short, eat dessert first, but we are proud of you, and keep up the good work, and we're proud of your dad and what he has done with our schools locally, and he says it all. He said, we expect excellence. It's not just something that happens now and then. We expect it all the time, so you're a perfect example of that, I think, as well, but we are seeing a lot of institutional improvements all throughout the grade levels in our community. We appreciate it very much. So stay on path, and congratulations again.
Master Barry.
Thank you, Judge. Congratulations. Great. We're glad to have you. Now, the judge mentioned a test. You got to have a test before you eat lunch. You remember all these numbers and things? Better remember. Steve, no, I'm teasing. Congratulations. Dr. Lawson, we're glad to have you. I like the way I always say we up here. I never say I because we get a lot more done. We're glad to have both of you. Got a very nice young lady there. I'm sure she's going to do well. I have a thing about Nick. I called Nick during the snow, and Nick says, well, I'm out plowing snow. He was actually driving the truck because I think they were short or something. And I want to thank Nick for that. Great job, Nick. I had a lot of compliments on the snow removal. I did. I don't think I had any negative. So everybody done a good job. Congratulations, everybody. Sheila, glad you're here. Bruce, Jailer Todd, glad you're here. Glad everybody's here. Be safe. Have a great week. We're good in District 1. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Gold.
Thank you. Congratulations again, Ruth. I know it's sometimes difficult being the child of educators. My uncle was a school superintendent at several different schools, and I know that my cousins always felt there was a really bright spotlight shining on them all the time and a lot of pressure on them. And I know you have clearly stepped up and risen to that pressure and are doing great things. So very proud of that, and I know it's not always easy, so congratulations that you are doing it with style. Okay, you are a judge's scholar, and she's been incredibly engaged and curious up here, which is not always the case with some of the young people up here, so I would expect no less. But congratulations, congratulations. Judge, I did want to mention, I think Nick had indicated that maybe their fuel contract, Nick, does it run out at the end of this month? Do you need to make a recommendation at this meeting so you have approval to buy fuel next month? Okay. Okay. Okay, well, I just want to make sure we weren't going to leave him fuelless for the month. Okay. But I will note that, just for the rest of what I was going to say, there are two great fundraiser auctions coming up that I would invite everybody to. The Henderson Lions Club has one coming up. Tickets are going fast. See me for tickets. Happy to get them for you. And the Boys and Girls Club is going to be having one in March. So invite everyone to go to those. The Boys and Girls Club one will be a St. Patrick's Day theme. It's going to be at Homer's, and it's going to be a great time. So I'll be publicizing both of those a little more, but if you're interested in tickets, please see me.
All right, I don't know if it's past the ruling that I can or can't go ahead and do a bid.
Court's still in session.
All right, cool. So went through there were 6 bidders. That's why it took a little long to go through it. Typically, we only have 1 or 2 bidders, so it was a pretty popular bid. But the successful bidder was Home Oil and Gas. That's who got it last year. Them and the second place bidder was within 5/10 thousandths. So I didn't think you could break a penny up that much, but you can. You can go down to 10 thousandths and still be a penny. So they worked. So it was a pretty close bid there. So if you all, and they have serviced us for a long time, different years. They've won it, different years they haven't. But I have no issue. They couldn't do what they could do.
Motion to approve that recommendation?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Master Southern.
Congratulations, Ruth. I get to see you on the weekends. You played on my granddaughter's basketball team. So you might know her. You know Isabel? And everybody's talked about your dad, but your mom's pretty special too. She keeps dad straight. Congratulations. Y'all have to be proud. All's good in district. Oh, another thing. Joanna, we talked, give her the thing, and if it hadn't been for her help, I don't know that Just Storage would be here. She definitely made things work in our community and helped 2 young people that just did not have a clue how to get things going and got us where we needed to be. So she's a very special person, and we're gonna miss her. So other than that, all's good in District 3.
Master Tompkins.
A couple of congratulatory things here. Most of you know that Angela wears multiple hats here for us and does them all very well. But we're seeing a great deal of success for the Deaconess Clinic for our employees. There's been over 30 people make appointments and use it. The amount of meds that are been delivered, 45 people have taken advantage of that. We've had 51 labs where they go draw. So the important thing for me to bring this up is because it's all free to our employees. So that's the first month that it's been in use. That's pretty remarkable numbers and that high of a usage. So it's paying dividends straight away. So I just wanted to congratulate Angela explaining all that, getting the news out, and people are taking advantage of it, and it's paying off. So now to our guest of the hour, Miss Ruth. I would agree. You have an infectious smile there, you know. Your parents, I know they're awfully proud. I'm proud of you as well. So we'll get to talk more about things at lunch. But I say this every time because Steve didn't do it this time. We need young people like you to get engaged early in things. Find ways to help your community because your exceptional talent, intelligence, and work ethic are needed. You don't need to wait till you're adults like we are. Something that I didn't take advantage of, and I was raised by educators too, and I understand, okay? You clearly have done a much better job than I did, but we're very, very proud of her. You got a day named all to yourself. I mean, nobody up here ever did that, so that's pretty awesome. So, again, looking forward to having lunch with you and learning more about everything. And Nick did a fantastic job in his crew. Roads were done exceptionally well, safe. So very thankful for that. And other than that, I think we're good, Judge.
Master Pupton.
Thank you, Judge. Ruth, you know you're going to be successful when you have parents like this. So I know they're very proud, and you're a very special young lady, obviously. We wish you all the best. We're proud of you, too. We just met you. But I think these guys all said it already. You know, the sky's the limit with you. You know, there's no boundaries. So enjoy your special day, and congratulations. Judge, and I just want to real quick just thank the city because I had some calls myself, and I called the city road department, and they straightened out some things when all the plowing was going on, so people couldn't get out of driveways and stuff like that. So I got 3 or 4 good calls back that appreciated it. So other than that, all is good and forth.
Thank you, Butch. Congratulations. You can tell we're a lot of admirers up here, and obviously admire your family quite a bit. And you are a transplant, is that right? Ruth was not born here, is that correct? She was born here. So are you the only one in your family that's a Henderson native? Is that right?
All right.
I like it. They'll have to get green cards, but you're a naturalized. Well, so congratulations. I'm proud of you. And I know the school and your parents are, so happy to know you. And do you know where you're going to lunch? Where are you going? Talkaholics, not a bad idea. And you're going with Master Tompkins? Is that right? Taking her one? Excellent. All right. It'll be a good conversation. I wish I could eavesdrop on that conversation. So, thank you very much. You know, talking a little bit more about the train accidents. They're terrible, and you know we care about people in the county. You know, there's a balance between personal responsibility and what government can do to try to prevent accidents like that. It's a tough question. Plus, you mix in the ownership and the regulation of railroad tracks and crossings. It just makes everything a little bit more difficult. But we have talked about that, and there may be a solution that helps prevent that in the future. But you know, those railroad, the rural crossings have been the way they've been for a long, long time, and for some reason, just, you know, in the last year, we've had this little run of unfortunate accidents. So, you know, balancing all that, if there's something the county can do and something CSX would allow us to do, we'll certainly look at it hard. Sheila, I appreciate what you're doing. Anytime I hear things like we have twice the number of deaths in a month that we had year over year. It always, makes me wonder why. But sometimes it's hard to figure, and there's no thing you can put your finger on. But keep up the good work. I'm glad somebody does that. I could not do it myself. I don't think so. Thanks for all your help. Magistrates, good job. We've had a good meeting, got through it pretty fair amount of time, so it's always nice. And Ruth, congratulations again. Enjoy your lunch. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor can leave.